Okay, so this is Horribly Hooch sitting down with Mark Groves, lead author, editor, supreme of Hellzapalooza, the best damn rock show ever, and easily one of the best damn books I've ever read. Thanks for joining me, man.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
So tell me, how long did this whole process take?
Not nearly as long as it should have. And the book itself. Okay.
So there's 7 authors involved, and you wrote the primary novel, right?
Yeah. There's a novel that surrounds a 7 short story anthology about a rock and roll concert that goes horribly, hellishly wrong in southern Missouri. Now, pardon me for a sec. There we go. The book itself was written last. All the short stories are written first. I belong to a writers group called the Dead Horse Society, and it's been going on for years and years and years. And we've got all of these writers, and do something, Jesus. So we sat down and we're kind of doing some brainstorming one day. And we thought, we've all got these short stories, all got this stuff. Why not write write our own book? Why not do this? And they were bouncing around some ideas here and there and this and that. I work at a group of radio stations. I'm the creative services director. I'm the guy who makes the part of radio you hate, the commercials. So, yeah, 4 minutes of hell and then back to, you're like, the hell? That's me. So,
so I've got someone to hate then.
Absolutely. As long as you buy this stuff, it's all good.
Exactly, right?
Hate me all you want. I've sold lawnmowers, and I even did a commercial for a research center for hemorrhoids. So my life is hell. All right. So I'm with all these people.
Book, right?
Yeah. Well, welcome to Hellzapalooza. So we're shooting around these ideas, and one of the radio stations that I work with and for does the single one-day most popular rock concert in the nation. And I was just thinking about it. I've been to 1 or 2 of them, and the crowd is so diverse and so different. You've got everything from people that are almost wearing suits at this outdoor rock venue to people that are almost wearing nothing. And they're all just getting along and banging heads and kicking ass. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever, especially for a suburbanite. So I go ahead and I pop out this idea. It just, and suddenly I realize I've got all these different writers around me who all write different styles. One's kind of a fantasy style. Some are horror. Some are dark urban fantasy.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, there's all these different people at a concert. Let's make it a concert. How about we do this? How about we do this? Oh, and the location of it in Hellzapalooza is plug. Does he do commercials? I think so. The location is a real place, Isabella, Missouri, which is it's an unincorporated town next to Theodosia, which is actually a village, not even a city. Tiny little dots on a map.
This is a real location.
Yeah, Isabella is real. It has a post office / laundromat. So yeah, it's that big.
That's wonderful.
Rocket, it is the best ever. They serve great gravy down there. Anyway, I thought, what the heck? My mom owns 22 acres down there. I've been deer hunting and this and that. And I grew up in the Ozarks in Branson, Missouri. So bam, I said, why don't we do it here? This is location. It's actually, the location on the map that you see in the book is right across from my mom's property.
No kidding.
The location is fake, but her property is real.
Is your mom's name Ophi by any chance?
No, but you might see a little bit of my mom written into Ophi and into Edna, especially Edna.
Yeah,
so
it totally sounds like the perfect mom character.
Oh god, she was awesome. Anyway, so I put all this together. I sent it out in an email, and I said, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah!" So we started bouncing around ideas, and I even sent out a list of story seeds. I mean, this stuff just started pouring out of my head, and some people bit at the story seeds, and some people said, "Wait a minute, this is a cool idea, but I want to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we went through a process where people who wanted to be part of the project had to give us a story idea and an example of their past writing. Went through that. We culled down a few people. There were a few people and wonderful people that didn't make that cut. And then the people that were left actually wrote stories. And then there were a couple, 2, 3 more cuts. And we ended up with the 7 writers that were involved. And it got kind of, it was interesting and crazy. And let me tell you, they tried to. You've got 3 different editors, and we're working with 7 people in toto. It was a circus, and it was a cool circus, but oh shit! So we got the stories in, and that's when I'd already had kind of an overarching story idea, and that's when I started writing that. I had to write my short story first, and then you see this garage. This is actually where I sat in my garage, had the garage door open, staring at my neighbors who think I'm a freak, and I sat and I typed out, and it's really hard to explain. Hey, what you doing, neighbor? Oh, I'm writing about some bitch on fire. It's great. So good to see you. They
Dude, I gotta say, hearing the process and what you guys went through, I mean, the final product, if I'd been holding a physical book, I wouldn't have been able to put it the fuck down. It was page-turning in the most spectacular way. I mean, mind you, I was reading this in sunny Cuba. And there
You were in Cuba?
Yeah, I was in Cuba. And I was reading this book, and I'm like, beach right there. And I'm like, no, can't leave the laptop. I got to finish this shit. Like seriously, I mean, nothing has captivated me as strongly as this since, I got to say, like, since I read The Stand. I mean, that was the last one that I sat through, it was 900 fucking pages of... Well, but you got down the sex, you got down the booze, you got down the drugs. I mean, shit, all my favorite things.
I'm glad you sent me that laundry list early on. I was able to fit it all in.
Yeah, it's just so we can make sure we're on the same page.
The story, it's kind of interesting because when I started in radio, I wasn't always doing commercials and being the chubby geek. Back then, I was thin, and I was a disc jockey. So
Major-esque.
I was Mark of the Dark Suburbs. Thank you, everybody. Oh, God.
Wait, one more time.
That was Mark of the Dark Suburbs. 297, Columbia's hottest FM. It was awesome. And especially being in college, in this college town, Columbia, Missouri. Anyway, I digress. The point of all of that is that there was all these experiences that I had and that are continuing going on with the people that I work with, and these crazy stories. And one of the things I firmly believe in is it's only half cliche. Write what you know, but write it in ways you don't know. So you take pieces of the things that you know, pieces of your life, and you start putting that shit together in all these different ways, and then you come out with a story. And I was lucky enough that I've got all these kind of weird, neat, cool people in my life that there were all these things that I could bring in and then start putting together. And then there are the other 6 writers with their own worlds and points of view and the things that they dug on. A lot of the stories, pretty much all of them, are based on either urban myth or semi-fact involving the Ozarks.
And that's another fascinating thing, because, I mean, the Ozarks is such a storied area. I mean, a lot of history, a lot of odd background. You hear a lot of strange things coming out of there. I've seen a number of movies come out of there. It's just a beautiful location for something as mythic as this.
The Ozarks are really surprising. I love the Ozarks. I don't know if you got to that paean I wrote in the back of the book about, Philadelphia's so beautiful. It really is. I love the Ozarks. I hate the horror that it's become. It started out as, the little girl going to the big city, putting on her makeup, and now it's, oh, shit. It's
little girl disappears in a swamp.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's Branson's a bit of a prostitute who I love now. But back in the day, in 1970, when we moved there, yeah, it was tiny. You go down and go skinny dipping in the creek, go fishing, do all these things. And what a wonderful way to grow up.